Hello everyone, Don Scarface24 here. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Dark Souls 3. My apologies for the super delayed upload of this video. This commentary is being recorded on January the 7th, 2017. Happy New Year's to everyone. Again, my apologies. I know I was sticking to kind of a I say kind of a schedule. I think I kept it for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, but I was trying to have every Monday upload a video, which would more than likely be a Dark Souls video, and then Tuesday stream either Dishonored 2 or, depending on if some of my buddies are on, maybe streaming The Division, just some type of stream. It was either one or the other, but due to the craziness of the holidays and New Year's and family and girlfriend, societal obligations, I kind of missed out on uploading some stuff, so my apologies, and I will be doing my best to upload more frequently. One of the things that I am trying to do is, at least in my Dark Souls uploads, is really working on my editing process. So, and by editing I mean kind of just trimming down some very unnecessary scenes. So, for instance, this just clocking in 27 minutes 32 seconds. I went through and edited out a majority. I think I generally have been leaving like 1 or 2 in if they're like, death scenes, if they're kind of silly or whatever, but or if I just find it was kind of a weird moment. But editing those out with the addition of the loading screen, and depending on how far into the level I was, or whatever the case may be, maybe editing out all the trip back to the point before I was killed. So, and by doing that for just this video in particular, it went from a 55-minute video to a 27-minute video. So so just little things like that to kind of help make help me improve with my video editing software and just computer skills in general. But also to everyone else who's watching, there's kind of only so much you can watch someone die at, boss attempts, etc. Especially when all of these are pre-recorded and it's not like a live stream. My only real excuse at the time was I didn't know how to do it. And it's just come from natural progression of becoming more familiar with the software I use, and then with the addition of me upgrading my laptop to the one I currently have, which my other one was about 5-6 years old, and I thought it performed great until I tried to do video recording and video editing, and then I realized how insufficient it was, and me getting my newer laptop honestly was kind of a not thought out situation. I mean, I'd kind of looked up some specs, and I was kind of familiar with what I wanted. My spatial limitations kind of don't allow me to have like an actual desktop PC. Otherwise I would have probably bought an actual desktop PC, or some type of, or I might have like even built one. But with my spatial requirements that I have, I kind of just looked up the best laptop for a certain price with some certain specs, and that was pretty much what I'm going with now. I ended up And this has totally nothing to do with the video. I'm just kind of going on a tangent here, so I do apologize. If there's something kind of interesting that pops up on screen, I'll address that, but as of right now, it's not like I'm fighting a boss in this video, so everything's kind of self-explanatory. But I ended up going from my previous laptop, which was an HP laptop, and I ended up upgrading to another HP laptop, which actually, I mean, there wasn't really a reason for sticking with the same brand. I mean, I've had HP, Gateway, Acer, Dell. I mean, I've had quite a few varieties, so it just happened to be HP. The laptop I got had the specs that I was looking for, and had a decent price for the price range I was looking at. So I ended up getting the HP Envy, which, in all honesty, like, just blows my other laptop out of the water. I didn't realize how dated my previous HP's specifications were until I started doing video editing, recording on this. Just even the boot up time on my old HP was even pretty much disabling every program except like the essentials that needed to pretty much function at startup. Was a few minutes, and now it takes almost no time at all. Granted, I mean, you know, I'm sure there's better models out there that, you know, do have way better specs, but I mean, it's like leaps and bounds. And you can see on screen how one of the cuts I had edited that I did is I edited out the period of me essentially standing there waiting for my health to recover from being intoxic. I equipped the Sun Goddess ring, I think. I'm sorry, it's been quite a few months since I've actually played Dark Souls 3. Upon me completing Ashes of Ariandel, I kind of was happy and relieved at the same time, because while I still do need to complete the actual game itself, I've got so much back footage that I just need to edit and upload that I kind of was able to take a break from it, from actually playing the game, which has allowed me to focus on, you know, playing Dishonored 2, The Division, with my friends in the free time. I've also been playing lately Bioshock 1 from, I picked up the Bioshock collection off a Black Friday sale, which I kind of did on a limb. I got it because the game had come out a little bit ago, and it was like, it went from like 60 to 40 bucks, so I figured what the hell to, you know, go for it. I was gonna get it eventually anyway, and just right now I'm playing through Bioshock 1, kind of like a casual playthrough, just nothing too strenuous for me to play, to kind of play and, you know, not worry about playing on like very hard survivor difficulty and wanting to pull my brains out. But yeah, so and I started recording some of the Bioshock. I think I recorded like the first 2 levels, the tutorial, and then the medical pavilion. And then I ran into some situations where I couldn't record, you know, like just kind of going back to those social and family obligations where, you know, I had family over and I could play, but I couldn't record just because there was a lot of stuff going on and I didn't have the right, you know, I couldn't set everything up because of everyone who was over our house. So I ended up getting the part I'm at now. I think just got past Sander Cohen, so I think I was just about to go to Hephaestus, which at that point is pretty far through the game. I'd say it's a good portion through the game. There's still a lot left you can do, but with me not recording that, I didn't feel the need to start pick up recording it. It might be something where I stream it one night, you know, just to kind of stream and play through until I can get the dedicated environment to properly stream Dishonored 2. I don't have the guide in front of me. I'm going to take a break from my tangent and actually pull back to the game. I don't have my guide, the Dark Souls 3 guide, in front of me. I don't know what the hell these things are. I just know that I hate them. He just sat his huge ass on me, and you can see in the game my guy's running away. He is terrified. And he's got a hand for a face, and he is just I do not like him at all. I think I actually died at him again too, and they're very relentless. They will keep following you and keep following you and keep following you. I have no idea how I avoided that roll either. How that slam. I have no idea. I think I actually just run away from him after a certain point. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on with me. I really do hope to be able to complete the edits for my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. I am I still have quite a bit of back footage to do, because at this point we've only taken care of 2 of the Lords of Cinder. We took care of Farron's Undead Legion, and we took care of Aldrich. And of course, looking back on it, I can't believe I used this spear. I really can't believe it. I thought it was a good spear at the time, because I wanted a secondary weapon from my scythe, and I wanted it to be kind of an elemental weapon. I wasn't sure what element, I wanted it to be, because in Dark Souls 3 there's quite a bit. You can have fire, lightning, dark. You can have something with a bleed effect, which in hindsight is probably one of the best things in Dark Souls, is the bleed, because a lot of, even if enemies or bosses are resistant to it, it still tends to do a lot of damage to them over time, so... But yeah, so I found this, I think it was in my previous video actually, and I picked it up. I said, oh cool, it's got like descaling and everything, but it scales with everything, and at the time my dexterity and intelligence were pretty high, and my strength was okay. Wish I could. I wish we could summon as fast as the NPCs do. But yeah, so I started using the spear, and eventually I just kind of realized it was a really bad weapon. I mean, I had picked up a couple other spears during my playthrough, and I was looking at them and just kind of comparing the stats, and just looking in the guidebook as far as, okay, what is this spear at, at plus 10 or plus 5 compared to this spear, and it was just, even with like the flame damage of the spear on, it just really wasn't for me. I love when I take out NPCs. It's very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling in Dark Souls, I think. Just period, in my opinion. Because, and this kind of goes for like bosses too. I always like fighting. Especially in the world of Dark Souls, you fight all of these like mythical beast type things and like monsters and distortions of like reality and stuff, and whenever you fight someone who is essentially just a super powered version of yourself, it's like, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta fighting Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's like, okay, we're Vegeta, and it's like it's refreshing that we're fighting almost our kin versus, fighting like Majin Buu or something like that. Little Dragon Ball Z there for you. But I think it kind of puts us at a slightly more, I won't say advantage, but I like the fighting brand. when playing Bloodborne and fighting a lot of like these huge beasts that kind of can pick you up and smack you around and throw you, and it's very refreshing to kind of fight someone who is essentially on your level, who, if, you know, we go into like the game story a little bit, you know, is essentially possibly just, in the Dark Souls 3 world, you know, they're possibly just an unkindled ash who has just spent a little bit more time exploring the world, and they're just, because of that time, they're stronger than you, and they're more experienced than you, which you would expect someone who's had more trials and tribulations to be. That little area there actually brings us back to the Ethereal Dungeon. Just in case anyone was wondering. We don't go down there because I have absolutely no need to. I'm sure you can. There might actually be an item there that I ended up missing, but at this point, after fighting those hand things, I couldn't. I believe in the next video too, we'll actually take on Yorm, and that is quite an interesting video. And I'll leave that for when that video is. Essentially, my way of beating this Mr. Hand, you know, Mr. Hand from Super Smash Brothers, is I pretty much just chuck fireballs at him, shoot spells, and just throw like throwing knives at him until he dies, or actually no, until he's weak enough to where I can do a plunging attack to him. I think I actually edited out a good portion of this because it took about 10 minutes. No lie, it took a while. It took quite a bit. Even if I was using like really, it's just such an awkward angle too. But yeah, look at that. It was like 120 damage. So I ended up using like all my fire bombs and everything. So just a little bit of some channel updates. I'm gonna be doing my best to upload a pre-recorded video, which, like I said, for now is gonna be Dark Souls 3. Upload that every Monday. It's probably gonna be Monday night for me on the East Coast of the U.S. Tuesday, depending time permitting, there will be a stream at some point. It'll either be, you know, afternoon and evening, or maybe just the evening, but at least once. I'm gonna try to make that Dishonored 2 at this point, because they added a New Game Plus mode where you can kind of play as whatever character but have access to both sets of abilities, which I really want to get into and utilize for all my playthroughs. I have quite a lot of playthroughs for that game to go through. And that's just Dishonored 2. I still have Titanfall 2, Final Fantasy 15 to play. Such a list that I actually don't even want to start naming them, because I'm just going to become quite intimidated by them. But that doesn't mean I'm probably going to be like recording all of them. As of right now, it's probably going to be Dark Souls 3 and Dishonored 2. I originally wanted to record BioShock, but at this time, since I'm kind of just playing through it, that's not going to happen. I have footage for the first 2 levels, and I might throw that into something, but I'm not quite sure at this point. I am interested in I would be interested in recording BioShock Infinite, though, because Infinite, and I'm probably going to get a lot of negative feedback about this, but Infinite, out of all 3 of them, is actually my favorite. And it really is. I'm not going to get into the specifics. I'm just going to say I love the environment, I love the story, I love the evolution, I would say, you know, coming from BioShock 1 to Infinite. The characters, it's all the eventual, like, eye-popping opener. To me, that was like crazier than you know, the realization of Bioshock 1's Would You Kindly, which I'm actually going through and counting now, since I'm going through playing Bioshock 1 again. But I might be interested in recording that. I did go through Infinite on the 360 with the 1999 mode and Scavenger achievement, where you go through on the it's very hard difficulty, and Scavenger is where you go through and you don't buy anything from the vending machines.
Good to know that a skinny little heretic can still turn heads. Oh, you're not one of them, are you? Accept my apologies for mistaking you for one of those leeches. So, what business have you here? This is a land of monstrosities, and I am no exception. You're here to save me, but I'm guilty. A wretched child of the abyss. Is that something you can forgive? Oh, really? You are no ordinary man. Very well. Besides, I've grown tired of imprisonment. I am Carla, and I accept your proposal.
Okay, actually getting into some gameplay stuff. The NPC that we just interacted with is literally a I'm guessing it was an intentional, a reused asset, cut and paste from Demon Souls. The NPC was called Yuria the Witch, and you find her in the third area of Boletaria. Boletaria is the first area of the game, but you can't access the third area until you've beaten one of the archdemons. And essentially, she allows you access to like the higher class spells of the game. So for us, that would be higher class spells of the game.
And
this will probably be it for my commentary, because it's kind of just me going through, looking at item descriptions and such.
The only thing
and her name's Carla.
Is my sorcery.
Carla, Yuria, same thing.
Although my dark
but anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and everyone's kind, constant support. I am trying to get better at this in terms of editing and just content and just a constant schedule. So thank you so much for watching, and you take care.
Humans are of the dark, and you are no different. Some may avert their eyes, but the truth remains the truth. Be careful, though. Few humans are privy to this knowledge. Let it be a secret, kept between you and I. There is one thing that you should know. There is a darkness within man, and I am afraid you will peer into it. Whether the fear will spark self-reflection or a ruinous nostalgia is up to you entirely. Fear not. Your choice will bring you no scorn. There is one thing, whether is Oh, a pyromancy tome, have we? Quelana, Witch of Izalith. Well, this is a fascinating pyromancy. Very well. If this is your wish, I will unravel the thing the best I can. Besides, it will be nice to play master for once. Oh, another pyromancy tome, have we? And one that resonates with the dark. Yes, well suited to me. I may be a heretical sorcerer, but you bring me nothing but pyromancies. Fiendish little lad, you. There is one thing. Do stay.